South Africans at that time. And then most of them, the majority were Mozambican, undocumented foreign nationals, something I want to emphasize. We don't even have a single person who's a foreigner who's documented from all the people that we got from the operation. And the other ones were from Zimbabwe. Then I forgot the other countries. But the long and short of it is that most of them, they are undocumented foreign nationals. At that time, it was only 3 South Africans. I will revisit and check myself again. So, but we done this our situation does not change. Whether you are South African, whether you are of a certain race or color, we want to nip this thing of what close this thing of illegal miners and fight it and make sure we collapse it to its needs. The danger is that people must be able to survive, and we are going to arrest them.
All right. Let me see. Thank you so much for making time for us. Vessels Moraine is the MSC for Community Safety in the Northwest. So we thought we should give you just one side, right, that looks at and they're finding a way to justify the approach that government has taken here, and then we'll bring in somebody else who believes that human rights may have been violated in this instance. I want to take some of the WhatsApp voice notes before we go to the headlines on 072-702-1702. You can also call us on 011-883-0702. I'll bring another side to this conversation and then continue with your calls and WhatsApps.
It's a tricky one, Clement. I'd say let the police help the miners underground to come up to the surface and then arrest those who broke these different laws of our country that you just mentioned. And now the problem is, I'm assuming some of the miners don't want to come to the surface for exactly that reason, that they know they're going to be facing the law. And you're going to end up with a situation where a lot of bodies are retrieved now because they want to die underneath the ground.
Yeah, good morning, Clement and the listeners. The issue about human rights, I think we're a little bit unfair when it comes to police men and women, because yet we expect them to be protecting us, protecting the state in general, but yet we want them to also nurse the feelings of criminals and try not to violate their rights. But how is it possible? Because to enforce the law, you must use force. There's no other way.
No, Clement. Did you hear the interview this morning with Benoni Bingwa? What about those that could potentially be down there that are there, not wanting to be down there, but are kept there outside of their will? How can you class them as criminals? There may be potential people that are down there that don't want to be down there. You can't rule that out. So to make a general statement that they're all criminals, no, they're not criminals still, they've been all found guilty. So right of life for those individuals should be high on the agenda. You can't make a blanket assumption like that.
Who made a blanket assumption like that? I don't think I didn't hear the EMC unless I missed that. And if you're referring to what I said, then I don't think you really heard what I said in my intro. I took some time to give context to what's happening there. I was trying to indicate that we understand the kind of impact illegal mining across the board has had. Talking about across the board. There are lots of communities that have been terrorized by illegal miners before. There are some illegal miners who have been involved in acts of criminality. Some of them have gang raped. Some of them have murdered. That's what we were talking about earlier. I don't remember anybody making a blanket approach about the people that are currently underground in Stilfontein. It's 11:30 now. Come back. WhatsApps as well as we continue this conversation on our Thursday dialogue about the balance that is required between the human rights of legal miners with, of course, the bodies dealing with their criminality. Let me know your thoughts. 011-883-0702. You can call us there, the WhatsApp line 072-702-1702. Mbali, good morning.
Thanks, Clement. A very good morning. Food-borne illnesses linked to the deaths of several children across the country have been classified as a national disaster. Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Minister Velenkosi Shabisa made the announcement during a media briefing in Pretoria today. The classification will make way for government to soon declare food-borne illnesses as a national disaster if necessary. At the same time, an inquest docket has been opened into the death of a 5-year-old boy in Diepkloof, Soweto. The boy died in a suspected food poisoning incident after allegedly eating snacks bought from a local shop. And a bill intended to protect journalists and lawyers from undue surveillance has been rejected by President Cyril Ramaphosa as unconstitutional. Ramaphosa has sent the RICA bill back to Parliament. Those are the headlines. This Eyewitness News and more at midday or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Traveling from Alberton heading towards Soweto, there's slow-moving traffic. This is in the Southgate area. On the N12 westbound between the Uncle Charlie's interchange as well as the N1 Diepkloof interchange. This is due to an earlier accident. Also coming from the Germiston area, there's bumper traffic on the M2 westbound. This is in the Penrose area heading into the Joburg CBD between Joe Slovo Drive and the Crown interchange. Also in Edenvale, traffic is a bit sluggish on the R24 westbound between Edenvale Road and the Gilulis interchange. And in Poleshoff Four-Ways area, there's slow-moving traffic on Witkoppen Road between St. Peter's School and Stonehaven. If you come across any other traffic issues, please SMS us on 31702. We are also on X at EWN Traffic.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
You could turn your home dream into a reality with Hollywood Bets. Stand a chance to win 1 million rand towards anything you desire for your home, or 1 million rand in prizes. Bid on selected Evolution slots or live casino games today, and dream big.
TCCs apply. Hollywood Sportsbook license number 101-10547-019 is licensed by the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counselling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710.
Hi, I'm Dion Free. Winning requires audacity. That's why I joined African Bank and opened a 60-month fixed-term investment account. I'm scoring.
Hello? I'm fine, and you? Yes. Yes. Exactly, yes. Yes. It was only for 1 day. We are in Benoni now. We are coming back that side. Yes. No, I was just showing him how I work and how I deliver. river. Oh, yeah, he did ask, but there's nothing. So I asked him to go with me. Yeah, we'll come. Yo, there are police here. Okay. Sorry? Key.
Yeah, confused.
Oh yes, he says he does have the keys. So.
Yeah, I have the key. Yeah, he will drop me by the yard. Don't use a car.
I
can't have the key, Dad. Yeah. Okay.
Ano ay sa muta ko eh. What's imagine? Ning today or ning?
Who's saying today?
Ay, when son. Hotel la when son. Today. Are we doing proper planning for getting? Yeah? Then Kenyan na go traveling. I get time to open permission for Baba to go down here. Kids so. When I go next? Why man, when I come out why some mood?
Yeah, no, I confirm. I can pull it out. I can move it.
Criminalize illegality and cooperative impunity allowed by the state, right? How then do you deal with the desperation of the masses in a situation where many of them just want to eke out a living, and because of the lack of regulation, they are criminalized. Because of lack of access to capital and the market, you have an organized criminal syndicate having now entered that space, right? To swindle these artisanal mine workers, and as part of that, they've unleashed a rate of terror on very specific people, their families, their communities, and we need to be able to say, how do we deal with that? How do we deal with that? Is that regular artisanal mining, support them with equipment, support them with access to capital, you also are able and get different components within the same time. The workers can do the sophisticated that artisanal mining. And the process of mineral and what the mineral mining we find in order and challenges through network of illicit trading on minerals in the same of refining. They collaborate with the top of the police and of course the big mining corporations, because the idea that these disparate, extremely poor miners are able to transport minerals worth billions from, Gauteng, Stilfontein, Limpopo, and all of that to the port without the involvement and the consideration of the police.
Yeah. What do you make of the approach the authorities have taken here? And Mametri, just to be clear also, unless when you're referring to the illegal miners and their desperation, you're talking just in broad terms. But I mean, illegal miners are not homogenous, right? There are some of them, and I spoke to one earlier this week who said, I'm desperate. I don't have a job. I need to provide for my family. A South African man who's from the Eastern Cape, who's moved to the Northwest to try and make a living for himself and his family. But you do have other illegal miners who have used their activity in mining to also create some gangs of sorts, who have terrorized communities, who have raped, who have murdered, who have disrespected the authority of the police. So you do have groupings like that. So how do we separate between who's desperate and who's not? Because at the end of the day, what is being done is criminal until, as you say, the laws are changed.
The simple thing here is that people forget that with the history of how we've dealt into that situation in the past. So firstly, once you have an industry or the reality of desperation like this, which has forced people into certain ways of eking out a living. And remember, part of the reason that the police will be unable to prosecute even many of those workers for this is that firstly, other than the fact that they are kicking and scavenging on the gold and other minerals that are abundant, that nobody has an interest in mining because big mining companies are saying it's no longer profitable. The police out of pressure, they are treating them with trespassing, but at the same time, the reason they can't sustain good justice is because of the connotation that is exposure. Trespassing climate is very simple. You can only be trespassing when you enter a property of someone without their authorization. In this case, the mine in many 6,100 are abandoned, meaning they are ownerless and vacant, which is part of the problem with it. Right? So to say somebody, is trespassing on the property that nobody wants to reclaim ownership and take responsibility for, whatever it is, that I think we've got to be able to debate. Because for me, that is an institutionalized illegality of the big licensed mining companies that have gotten us here. And particularly in respect of their non-compliance with the conditions of their license when in respect to one, the environmental management plan that requires that they must have the proper closure of the mines, including the sealing of the holes, but also the habilitation of the environment in such a way that it's adequately, the land is adequately rehabilitated for alternative productive uses, as well as ensuring that they invest in the mining community, alternative skills for the mine workers, but also other industries in those communities, so that when the mine inevitably close, those mining communities have resilient economies that can, transition into sustainable post-mining communities that can support the families and of course communities in them. That is where they are failing. And why are they failing? They are failing because mining in this country climate remains colonial. And what are the key features of that? The key features of that is colonial extractivism, where you have the mining industry monopolized predominantly by foreign-owned multinational companies that are plundering minerals, taking and shipping them off raw as they are without any beneficiation and investment in local communities, which would create diverse industries and of course re-industrializing of this country that will create millions of jobs we need to eliminate unemployment and poverty levels that are reaching levels of starvation and hunger in this country. I mean, look at what in Eastern Cape where a lot of these miners are coming from, right? A woman killed her son and 8 of her children because of starvation in the most industrialized country in this, in the country. That is a criminal scandal. And why is it so? It's because of, me and you are talking about illicit flow of, minerals because of this industry. I listened to your show earlier. You're correct, right? The issue is even the minerals from this particular artisanal miner. Remember, there's no black market for minerals in this country. The only way that these minerals basically get taken away, because all of them, including the ones by artisanal miners, they end up in international markets. Britain, Europe, US, China, you mentioned all of them.
That is through the black market. That's through the black market. That's where how they end up there.
They are sold by people with license, right? And those people are big companies. So I'm saying, even your market is not domestic. I'm saying there is no black domestic market. That's the way that I feel.
Well, that's what the miners, I spoke to one miner on Monday who told us, who had just resurfaced in Stilfontein, who said, what we do is we get the gold, we get out, and we get into the black market and we sell it. And of course, these things are more organized than what we see, and that's why they would end up maybe in these big companies, but that operates all of it from the black market initially. I'm going to take a quick break, Mametlo. When we come back, I'll give you an opportunity to continue your point, but I want to take some calls as well on 011-883-0702. I see your WhatsApps as well that will get you on 072-702 and 702, 14 minutes before 12.
Aubrey Masango.
Weekday evenings,
8 to midnight.
Listening to Mayor Chamila Batoe saying that we shouldn't judge the NPA on the basis of who and how they prosecute and whether they've won cases or not. Then Mayor Batoe, tell me exactly what else should we judge you on? Because that's your key performance area, that you need to prosecute people that have been charged with particular crimes. If that is not what we're going to judge you on, then I don't know what you're doing there. But ultimately, we judge the National Prosecuting Authority on the basis of their ability to prosecute.
Aubrey Masango.
8 to midnight on 702.
702.
Prepare to celebrate a Christmas like no other with Spar. Get 1 kg Baker's Choice Assorted Biscuits for $129.99. Save 20 Rand with rewards card. Or 1 liter Spar Long Life, full cream, low fat or fat-free milk, 6-pack for only $89.99 with rewards card. Prices valid until 8 December while stocks last. Celebrate a Christmas like no other with Spar.
Don't mind if I do.
Using your ABSA Visa card, then you have a ticket to an amazing Black Friday and Cyber Monday offer. Only ABSA customers get up to 100% real cash back when you pay with your ABSA Visa card at Dischem, Sasol, Woolworths, Food Lovers Market, and any of our rewards partners. Every swipe, tap, and scan gets you more real cash back until December 2nd. The more you swipe, the more you get. My card does that. Your story matters. ABSA. ABSA's low price MSP and registered credit provider. T&C supply.
702 and corporate sidekick with Nashbass Labs Carbon Solutions for youth and employment.
We need South Africa to move forward. South Africa today is a net importer of digital skills. We need to be the ones who are producing those skills. And so Naspers is doing that through Naspers Labs. We are ensuring that we're providing access to digital skills of this youth are university graduates. So these are young people who've gone to university either through bursaries or their moms and dads have helped them to get through university. They complete their degrees and they find that they actually can't get jobs. So we take those young people in, we reskill them into various roles, whether as cybersecurity, data analysts, different roles, and we are then able to place them immediately. Our target is not just on only ensuring that they're educated, but also ensuring that they're also employed.
Naspers Labs equips South Africa's unemployed youth with in-demand digital skills on 702 Let's Walk the Talk.
Dialogue with Thuma and Taylor.
It's not just another roundtable discussion.
Let's walk the talk on 702.
11 minutes before 12 o'clock. I'm going to come to your calls on WhatsApp in a moment. Mametlo, the question I asked MEC earlier, and I'd like to ask from you is, what do you suggest must happen? What approach then do you think the police must take in this ongoing operation in Stilfontein?
I think the issue with the ongoing operation is let's focus on the effort. I mean, the idea, by the way, I mean, I've been there. The idea that the miners are refused to come to the country so far was not thing. Every time the rope is thrown down, some people are coming.
Di kala ho 18.
Yeah.
Right.
They take away the people that are supplying, the family that are supplying these miners with water, with this. For 3 months, people that are out of their supply for 3 months, many weeks without anything, without anyone. They were 2 weeks before. Now, that is in the job, and now, in addition to community effort, they send out the first time, this equipment that is but more than that, we need to find a sustainable solution. What is a sustainable solution? Sustainable solution.
Hey!
We need to the extent that
Hey! Sam.
Yeah, I get that, right, Mametlo.
Okay, we thought the message jack. Yeah, we thought. This a challenge. Mote at least a challenge because that's what it is.
There is a risk. I think the police must get in there and rescue these mine workers because the argument is that what if they are armed? Because that's what we've often seen with some illegal miners in some parts of the country. What if that becomes a dangerous situation for the police? What do you think needs to happen right now? I mean, food and water has been allowed down. I mean, surely that situation can stay the same. Police can't just food supplies.
Yeah, Marathi said shut
What
down.
do you think should happen to end this deadlock now?
No, but I'm saying the food that was our top of the might be that what